All right. Um, yeah, I'm kind of hoping Mario scores again as we're live now. I didn't realize that we were. I thought we would just run the clock out here because we know Mario's not going to. 4th and 5. So I am watching this real quick. Figured I watched the last few seconds. Brock, run the ball, dog. All right, good job. Just run the ball and get down, and they don't score again. Like, what are you doing? Florida State loses to Miami in a game that was honestly never competitive. What was it 14-7 at one point? Like, did you think that that was a real thing? Did you think that? Um, did you think that it was close? Then it almost took like a miraculous. Hey, there's a nice play. Brought Glenn down to who is that? Amari. Nice play there. It took like a miraculous play for on that fourth down. I thought we got stuffed on that fourth down. I'm sure everyone else did too. But yeah, nice play to Amari. Here, we'll watch the last couple plays with you guys, and then we'll talk about it. Here's a pass down. Nah, not even close to more. All right, we'll talk about this defense, but William, I disagree there about the defense being bad. I thought they were terrible. We'll talk about it in a minute. First team in the last 70 years to start the year 1-7 after going undefeated in the regular season. That is phenomenal. Again, we break a new record. It seems like every single year. I'm going to watch this last minute, but I'll watch it with you guys. Then we'll start talking about the game. See if Brock does something. I'm not really sure why we've gone back to Brock here, but we did, and broken up over the middle, 3rd and 10, I guess now. Yeah, I disagree on the defense being not bad. I want to save this for when the game's over, just in case Miami gets the ball back. But Miami's offense scored on every single drive except for one. Like I don't know how you could say this defense isn't bad. They scored on what, 7 out of 8 possessions. Like, just because Mario settled for 3 a couple of times, like, thank God he settled for 3, because I think those would have been obvious first downs if he'd have gone for it on like 4th and 3. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying that the defense was any good. Nice run by Brock. Hey, if you score here, you match your season total of like 14 a game. So something to play for here. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Brock is doing back in the game. I'm just watching the last 45 seconds like you guys are. Maybe you're a second or two ahead of me because YouTube takes a second to stream. Here's a throw to nobody in the end zone. It's like they just can't end it. We just can't get the suffering over fast enough. Brock's stat line, not great. 4 of 15 tonight, 49 yards. 1-13, probably not, because we'll only play 12 games, but 1-11, certainly possible. I liked some of what we saw from Luke, but I don't want to be super positive here. So, 2nd and 10. That's pass interference. All right, good. They didn't call that earlier on when they clearly did it. At least they got it right on this one. We could do calls tonight. We can do whatever you want. We can read comments, whatever you guys want to do. I don't care. Just kind of a quick reaction, quick thought, and then we'll go. Are we going to score here? We're going to score, and then Mario's going to go score again and pull out a trick play to go up by even more. Do these coaches have a win-loss minimum? No, they do not. They can be as assed as they want, and they still get their full paycheck. So, yeah, no, there is no win-loss minimum. I think we'll beat Charleston Southern. Is that who that is? And then we drop a touchdown. Fitting to drop a touchdown there because, of course we would. What did LSU do that everybody's freaking out over? I just see a million tweets that are like, oh no, LSU. Somebody want to hit that in the comments? Somebody's watching like 6 games at once. I mean, Alfred's the one that signed it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't, it's the AD. I mean, as good as Alfred's been to us and as much as people like him, I mean, he's the one that signed it. There's a throw. Kentron, of course, drops it. And now 3rd and goal. We should just kick the field goal. We should give Fitz some love here today. Anybody, I don't know if anybody's a fan of that or not. I think that could possibly be effective. Did anything nothing in this game happened that you weren't expecting though. Right? Like, no, I mean, are you even upset? I mean, you're upset like at the overall product, but nothing happened here tonight that we didn't kind of predict. I think we said like, hey, that'll work. Touchdown. Does that mean that FSU covers the spread? It was 22.5. They need to go for 1 here. Mike, go for 1. Don't do anything stupid here. I think they could have called us for OPI there. Just go for 1, Mike. Just get the extra point. Yeah, good job. I thought 50-0, so it's better. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Florida State, I mean, okay, I will say this. The defense, I thought Mario did some of what Dabo did a couple of weeks ago when he just absolutely, like, didn't care in the red zone, and he was just content to get down there and kick field goals. I thought that he knew that Florida State couldn't score, and so he was completely fine just saying, all right, cool, we'll field goal you to death. We'll move the ball every single drive, and if you can bow up in the red zone, then you bow up in the red zone. To lose by 22, optically, I guess that's a win. Nothing about this season is a win. This is all just embarrassing. It's embarrassing that Mike Norvell hired a staff that is below average. It's embarrassing that he continued to extend them. It's embarrassing that while Alex Atkins had a show cause, you gave him an extension and a raise last year. Like he was going nowhere. No one else could hire him, and you gave him an extension. You gave him a raise. His offensive line is the worst in the conference. It's like, I don't know. Is it worse than the Power 4? Adam Fuller's defense, you guys can tell me all you want. You thought the defense was good. Oh, they only give up 36. What? You up 36. They gave up scores on 7 of 8 drives. Like that is terrible. 7 or 8 or 8 of 9. The kid they scored 3 touchdowns and hit 3 field goals. No, they hit 4 field goals, right? What do we got here? Miami, FSU, ESPN. They scored on play-by-play. Touchdown, field goal. That's 3, field goal 4, field goal 5, 1 punt, touchdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They scored on 7 of 8 drives. Yeah, that's horrible. That defense is terrible. And I know a lot of people just look at the offense and like, oh, the offense is so bad that, of course, the defense is bad. Yeah, like they are. It's both sides. It is fully both sides. But the people are like, oh, the defense isn't a problem. They're only giving up X number of points a game. Do you watch the games? Or do you just look at the box score? Is it easier for you at the end of this year to just look at the box scores? Because if that's what you're doing and you're thinking that this defense is somehow not terrible, then I get it. Because I wouldn't want to watch these games either if I was you. Like if you're telling me this defense is not bad, people on Twitter, oh, this defense isn't that bad. It's not that big of a problem. They're just not very good. No, this defense is terrible. This defense is so bad. But what people are right about is that Mike Norvell's offense is worse. It is legitimately worse. This offense built for playmakers is just an offense. I don't even know. I can't even come up with like a fun pun or something that would be witty to say. I'm going to turn on the Texas A&M game and watch that while we're on here talking. But I can't even think of something that would be like fun or funny. Dude, I can put this. Oh, is that getting in the way of the camera? No, it doesn't. Look at that. I can literally put that up there and still watch the game and go. Yeah, I don't understand how bad this offense is. Mike Norvell, like, what are you doing? The only scores we had are like awful garbage time. Miami does not give a crap. They've got backups in, I assume, on that last drive. I didn't really look at their depth chart to see who was playing on that last drive. Or the funniest, dude, our longest, I wish I could get the all-22. I might ask somebody for the all-22 of that. But I wish I could see what really happened on that fourth down play. Because to me, it looked like we fumbled the snap, and then Luke somehow got it back, and then like he was picked up and like driven across the line. And I was like, oh, that's cool. He's going to get the first down. And then you just see him sprinting. That's our best rushing play of the year. Our second best rushing play of the year was a fake punt. Like, that's how inept we are. We are just, yeah. So, yeah, I get it. If you want to say, well, the defense isn't as bad as the offense, okay, great. It's like, I don't want to get canceled tonight, but have you seen the meme of the two fighting, like, yeah, like it's, okay, great. The defense is a little bit better than the offense. Woohoo. The defense gave up scores on 7 of 8 drives. And then the people leading the defense, no, just Adam Fuller, just screw it. We'll just say it. Adam Fuller is so inept at calling defense that he finally figures something out that works. Blitzing, right? Second drive, you force him to punt because you blitzed a couple of times. You made a good play on the first down. Why I'm getting upset about this, I really just need to chill out. We knew this was going to happen. I got to calm down. Y'all don't want me to be upset. I get it. We should reel it back in a little bit. Have a dip, call it a night. Just, shut up, TJ. We know we were bad. It's not a big deal. But I unfortunately just can't do that. I just don't have the self-control. So Adam Fuller finally finds one thing that works and is like, oh, let me do it every single time. No, of course he doesn't do it every single time. Like, he gets out of it. And on a 3rd and 20, you don't bring any pressure. You drop a billion guys back. And what's he do? Hit a dump off pass. Your people can't tackle because you can't coach defense. You've been terrible all 5 years. You got blessed by the fact that Florida State had like 8 NFL guys on its roster last year on the defense. And you fooled Mike Norvell into giving you a contract extension and a raise. But Adam Fuller, of course, cannot get a stop for the rest of the game. He gets one stop defensively on a play where guys make great plays. He called great blitzes. He got one stop defensively, couldn't get another stop the rest of the game. They scored on every single drive after that one. That's insane. Hey, if you guys want to call in, I guess we can put a link in the description, Harlan, or we can put a link in the comments. I don't know. If people want to call in, great. If not, I'll just rant for a few more minutes and then we'll go. But he finally found something that worked and couldn't coach it for the rest of the game. Like, couldn't get it, whether he was going away from it and playing prevent, whether it was he brought a big blitz on a 3rd and 10, and he had his defensive backs like 10 yards off, so they just ran a simple slant, and Cam was like, oh, yeah, that's an easy first down. He's the worst defense. Like, we used to get frustrated at Kelly. We used to get frustrated at other defensive coordinators. He is so bad. And again, last year's team masked a lot of it, but they weren't doing stuff well last year either. 2022 masked a lot of it when you played like 7 backup quarterbacks. Florida State played 7 backup quarterbacks in 2022. How LSU and Jaden Daniels didn't score on us, I'll never understand. Like, as good as that defense was, how they did not score, I'll never get that. It doesn't make any sense at all. So, yeah, the defense is terrible. The offense, I don't even know what to say about the offense. You've got an offensive line coach. Unfortunately for Florida State, this is our offensive line coach's first year in Tallahassee, and it just takes time to build it up. We don't have a long-standing offensive line coach. We don't have a guy who's been in Tallahassee for half a decade now. It's going to take this offensive line coach time to build this offensive line up. So you really can't blame the offensive line coach. You can't get on him because it's his first year. It takes time to build up an offensive line. And unfortunately, we just need a little time to do that. If this was his 5th year, if he had been here for half a decade, you could probably say like, he'd probably have you where you need to be. But unfortunately, this isn't his 5th year. And so you probably aren't going to get that good of offensive line play, right? Obviously, to those in the chat, just being incredibly sarcastic, I don't know how you could have an offensive line that's this bad in year 5. Like, I have no clue. It doesn't make any sense to me. This offensive line, Rob Scott, unfortunately, I'm sure he's a nice guy, should not be on scholarship. I've been told for a while that he's Alex Atkins' favorite, and that's why they continue to go back to him. He's not very good. He was an absolute liability tonight. Second play of the game, getting a false start. It's just putrid. And they've recruited it well, but like Armella, Simmons, all the, like, none of these guys see the field. I don't know if that's on us for evaluation or us for development, but they were highly rated for a reason. So, offensive line, Maurice Smith, you finally get some stuff going on that first drive after the half, right? You're down 2 scores. What was it? It was a 17 to 10 at the half, and you're driving, right? I mean, and nobody thought we were going to come back and win there. Nobody thought like, oh, we're going to go do it. But if you were to go make that 10 to 17 or 14 to 17, like, at least you put a little pressure on Miami. But of course, you get in a 3rd and 4 and you have a guy wide open breaking on an out route. And what does Maurice Smith do? He takes the ball and turns around and rolls it along the ground to see how many revolutions he can get before it gets back to Hawk's hands. And I don't understand how you can be in your 87th year of college and still not know how to snap the ball. And where did this come from Maurice Smith? I mean, he didn't do, was Jordan Travis just like Mr. Bionic where he could just grab anything at any point? Like, I don't remember Maurice Smith ever doing this before, like, the Clemson game. Like, I don't even remember him really doing it with DJ much in there. Am I crazy? Like, was he doing it and I was just missing it for 4 years? I don't remember that at all. Somehow, out of nowhere, Maurice Smith has just become this guy that cannot get the ball to the quarterbacks. So a 3rd and 4, you're somewhat in scoring range, you're moving the ball, you've already converted a 4th down, you've got a guy wide open, and a ball is rolled back to Luke's feet. He picks it up. Thank God he was able to pick it up and make an attempt at a throw, throws it out of bounds. You obviously get stopped on the 4th down the next play because, again, the offensive line is just really, really bad and can't stop anybody. But I don't understand how this offensive line just is so bad. And, I think you had less drops tonight. That's probably a good thing. I mean, you guys want positives. You want silver linings. Less drops was maybe a good thing. I don't know. Like, are you, is that something you're super happy about? I mean, you had a couple, but nothing that I thought was like just detrimental. Yeah, I mean, outside of Luke's long run and the garbage time touchdown, you were absolutely putrid on offense tonight, and you were putrid on defense. And Miami was just kind of inept at times and couldn't figure out a way to run up the score until it was garbage time, but that's on them, right? They're probably not as good as they think they are. I thought the effort tonight was good. I will say that. I thought they played hard. I thought the defense played really hard. I thought they got after it. I don't think they're very good, but I do think they got after it, and they played really hard. I just think they're led by a guy who doesn't know how to coach defense very well. And as hard as I think they played, when your coordinator puts you in bad positions, the substituting. You guys know the rule in college football, right? Because you're probably not simpletons that have no brain cells. Apparently, our defensive staff doesn't know it. If the offense doesn't sub, the ref doesn't hold the play up. So 2 times on 3rd downs, what did we do? We said, let's run our biggest, fattest guys from the center of the field all the way to the sideline and see if we can get that done before Miami snaps the play. And what did Cam Ward say? Whoa, look at those big, heavy guys trying to make it all the way across the side of the field, and we're not subbing anybody. Hey, hike, and 2 times you got caught by it. How does that even happen? Like, I don't even understand. Like, what goes through a coach? And fortunately, the TV caught it. Like, Norvell gave him a little bit of a hard time for it. How do you even let that happen as a coach? Excuse me. No voice left. But I don't, from yelling at my kids, not even the TV or anything. I don't even understand how that can happen as a coach. And, I mean, none of these small things were the difference in the game. I mean, you're not winning the game if you don't substitute there. But I do think it just speaks to a bigger picture. The defensive coordinator never has them in the right position. They don't know how to play zone. They don't know how to coach to their talent. They don't know how to coach to their strengths. They don't even know how to sub guys in and out without screwing it up. Like, are you surprised that Fuller can't coach a defense? He can't even sub guys in and out right. If Florida State doesn't have, try it again because I'm out of a voice. Thank God for this second water here. If Florida State doesn't have 2 new coordinators next year, I don't think they make a bowl. Is that too emotional for me to say that? Am I too much of just an irrational idiot right now because I'm frustrated that you got embarrassed by your rival? Fortunately, you didn't lose 45-3. But if they don't have 2 new coordinators next year, I don't see how they make a bowl. Have we talked about, I don't remember if it was on here or if I was just chatting with somebody else, but, oh, nice play LSU. That's what a competent offense looks like. FSU schedule 2025. Have we talked about this at all? I feel like a streamer in the chat. Alabama week 1, that's a loss. At Florida, at Clemson, hard to see either one of those as wins at this point. Miami up here, that's a loss, I feel like. So there's probably 4 losses. You got Pitt, who's undefeated right now. You got Virginia Tech, who looks like a pretty good team at times. You got to go to Stanford. You got to go to NC State. You do play Kent State and A&M Commerce, so there's 2 easy wins. You also play Wake at home, so that's an easy win. You got to go to Virginia. I think you win that. But if you start out with Alabama, Florida, Clemson, and Miami and Pitt as possible losses, like say you lose 3 or 4 of those, then you're fighting for a bowl. And if you don't upgrade both your coordinators, I don't think you make a bowl next year. So I don't know. I think Norvell's got some work to do. At the end of the day, he built this team. You know, Florida State's obviously not firing Norvell. I know that it's easy to say. That's fun to say, like, oh, fire Norvell, all that stuff. But it's hard for me to, so I'm not really on the fire Norvell train because I just know it's not realistic. I have already said, though, like, I don't think he turns it around. But I like Norvell. It's hard for me to feel bad for him, though. We could see these issues well before we got to 1-7. Like, we were calling for them in December. Like, I got bitched at by the staff for not the staff that I fired. Like, those guys just blocked me. But, like, I got bitched at by the staff for saying that we needed to cut certain coaches. And I got yelled at by other people close to the pro. Oh, you shouldn't say this. You shouldn't. Back in December, we just won 13 games. No, we were calling for it back then. And I know other people just pump sunshine and tell you everything's okay. And, oh, everything will be, yeah, we're this, that, and the other. No, I could see it then. Now I'll tell you, obviously didn't see this coming. Didn't see 1-7 coming. Didn't think it would, what I thought would happen is I thought it'd be like Jimbo, where it was that slow, that slow slide backwards. You lose 1 game, then you lose 3 games, then you lose 4 games, then you lose 6 games. Like, that's what I thought it would be. Is that better, or is it better to just rip the Band-Aid off and lose in the most embarrassing fashion ever and just be done with it? I don't know. I don't really know that one's way better than the other. But, yeah, people were absolutely calling for this staff to be upgraded last year. Mike refused to do it, and now it's probably going to cost him his job. Not this year, but eventually. So, I don't know. I haven't really been reading the comments or anything, so I don't know what you guys are saying. But, yeah, it's all looking funny in the light. It still blows my mind that after last year, you gave every single coach a raise and an extension. Like, that's still wired, especially the coach that has a show cause and cannot get hired somewhere else if he wanted to because he broke NCAA rules. Extending him through 2028 may have been Norvell's finest work. Like, that might have been just the absolute cherry on top. It's probably going to cost this organization, this program, FSU Athletics, it's probably going to cost them like an extra $2 to $2.5 million when we buy him out. So I guess at least Norvell did Atkins a solid. Like, congratulations, Alex. That's if he even fires him. Who knows if Mike's even going to fire him. So, 31-10 since he's been at Florida State. Are we talking Norvell? I don't think so, brother. 7 losses, 3 losses, 7 losses, and 6 losses. That's 13 and 3. No, I don't think 31-10 is the right thing. Mike Norvell record at FSU. Anybody have that real quick? Anybody that can do better math than me? (31-20). 31-20. Yeah, that's not good enough. 31-20 is just not good enough at Florida State. 31 divided by 5 is what? 6. 20 divided by 5 is 4. So obviously you had a COVID-shortened year. That's 6-4 every year. That's really bad. If you took away the COVID-shortened year and you gave them an extra win and extra loss, it'd be 7-5. That's terrible, especially when you have a 13-0 in there. So I don't know. But again, the frustration's not even really with tonight, right? Tonight, like they were playing a team. I think Miami's a little bit fraudulent. They're playing a team, though, that's much better than them. I can call Miami fraudulent and still say they obviously are way better than us. We weren't even competitive in this game. But the frustration's not even with tonight. Who even cares about tonight? Like, you knew this was going to happen one way or the other. So who cares? Who cares about tonight? The frustration's with where the program is overall. Like, it is so bad overall. And I don't know how you pull out of it. I think there's a long way to go to pull out of it. I think you're hoping and you're praying that half this class doesn't decommit, because most of them already have. You're hoping and praying that half of the roster doesn't go in the portal. You're hoping and praying that coaches will actually want to come coach here after you just had a season with 2 or 3 wins. So 2, yeah, I don't see us beating North Carolina. Wouldn't North Carolina put about 1 billion points on UVA today? I don't see us winning that one. But an LSU score, they took a touchdown off the board. I saw it. Yeah, LSU trying to make it a game here in the 4th. But anyway, long way to go for Mike Norvell trying to get it back. I don't really understand. I know he scored there at the end. I don't really know why. Hold on a second. Can you bump? I don't really know why Mike went back to Brock. Maybe just to get him some reps and not get Luke killed. But I can't read the comments. Sorry. I don't think Pitt is making the ACC title game. No, I think Clemson probably will. I think Pitt will lose to Clemson. I did see that comment, but now I can't see them. I screwed something up on the screen, and now I literally can't see any of the comments. So I'm sorry about that. I hit something and now they're all gone. I don't know why he went back to Brock. I guess you scored that touchdown with him though, so I won't question it, but it didn't make a lot of sense to me. I'd have probably just kept Luke in there, but whatever. I guess it doesn't matter. I think Luke is probably your guy at this point. I think I'd like to see Luke start against North Carolina. Here's the thing. We've played 3 different quarterbacks this year, and we can't score over 14 points. So it doesn't really matter. Like, we should stop pretending like it was DJ or it was Luke or, we need to play Brock so we can be better. Like, I tried to tell you guys back in the day, like, playing Brock or Luke, it's better for the future. It definitely was better but like, it wasn't going to help the team be better. Playing Luke or Brock wasn't going to have the offensive line figure out how to block. Playing Luke or Brock wouldn't have the wide receivers figure out how to catch the dang ball. Playing Luke or Brock wasn't going to give you a better play calling, because that's been terrible all year. So, or have the defense figure out how to not let Miami score on 7 of 8 drives. So yeah, playing Luke or Brock, though I'm glad they are playing now. It ain't like it was going to make the season any better. Maybe you beat Memphis. Woohoo. Would that make it all better? Would you guys feel better if we beat Memphis? I guess I'd feel a tad bit better, but I'm not even confident you'd beat them, man. So, all right, 30 minutes. That might be enough tonight. I really don't know what else to say about this one. It's frustrating, but it's exactly what I thought would happen. I thought I maybe even said it. I don't want to toot my own horn enough to go pat myself on the back on this, but I think I even told Richie like it's going to be like 17-7 or 20-6 or something like that at halftime, and then they're going to kind of ice it at the end and win going away because the defense gets tired. And that's what happened. You know, took a couple trick plays, took a fourth down miss by us, but Mario got to run up his score. Not quite the way we did 2 years ago down there, but who knows? Maybe he'll have another chance next year to try and run it up in our house. So, hey, listen, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Just a quick shout out to you guys for tuning in on this. If you haven't already, do me a favor and just hit the subscribe button. I didn't do one ad on this video. I didn't have you try and go buy anything. So, if you would hit the subscribe button, that'd be great. If you don't want to hit the subscribe button, go sign up for the Patreon, patreon.com/DFNS. I dropped news over there about Cam and Darius not playing on Monday. And then obviously everybody else dropped it today when it happened. So if you do like inside info that happens a little early, none of it's good because there's no good news around FSU right now. But if you do like hearing stuff early, you're certainly welcome to go check it out. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., somewhere around there to talk about the game with Richie. We appreciate you guys a ton. Go Noles.